Hello, this is Brian. I'm going to use a sale that happened yesterday, happened to be for some Hunter fan remote controls, to talk about local pickups. And in some ways, eBay local pickups kind of remind me of Facebook pickups, right? Because you're going to be there in person handing over a product. But in this case, there are actually three of them. You can see them here. These are all new and sealed units, so I don't really have any concerns about whether or not the items are intact or in good shape. But I had them up on a listing on eBay in one of the stores, and I had a quantity of three, which means I probably, and did, put them up as a multi-quantity discount if the person took more than one. And because we use shipping policies, each of my shipping policies was created with the idea of giving the buyer an option for local pickup. Now, we don't do a lot of local pickups here, probably because of where we live, which is a pretty rural area. For most things, it's easier for the buyer, certainly easier for me, to just simply ship the item out. I put the amount I'll charge for the shipping in the listing as a flat rate. They can simply make the purchase, I'll pack it up, and I'll get it on out. In this case, the buyer wanted three, and he lives about 45 minutes to an hour away, over towards the capital. So his first question was, are any of these open? Can you take me a picture of the module? He was concerned about the physical size going up inside the unit. They're all sealed though, so I really don't want to open them. Before I even got a chance to answer that one, he said, well, I guess I'll just take a chance and buy them. The next question had to do with he would be charged 3 times the local pickup rate. And that's simply because as a seller, you have the option in the software when you're creating the listing to say, there's always going to be some inconvenience with a local pickup. You might have to drive somewhere. You might be hanging around waiting for them. So you've got some time involved. So I normally choose an amount like $3 per pickup. And that goes in there just as the shipping would if I were shipping these. And of course, because he wanted to buy 3, he wanted me to remove that. And I did, but it meant I had to take some time, go in there and amend the listing. Now, this is where shipping policies come in. If you've never done this combination of local pickup with shipping policies, in order to waive that $3 fee, or never put it in the first place, it's going to affect every listing tied to that shipping policy. In this case, there were initially 45 listings tied to this policy. I can't change the individual listings. It's one of the drawbacks of shipping policies. So, long enough for him to make the buy, I had to alter that shipping policy and make the local pickup amount 0. Now, if anybody else had bought one of the 44 during that time frame and specified local pickup, they would have got their pickup for free right out of the gate. So once he made the purchase, I had to go back in and reestablish my $3 fee on the remaining 44 listings attached to that policy. That's just an administrative thing. But the reason local pickups make me think of Facebook is it starts this long chain of events, right? There's got to be a way to give them your contact information. And that option does not open in eBay until after the sale. So the guy really can't come out and ask you ahead of time, where are you located? Is this going to be easy or difficult? Am I going to have to drive somewhere in between? So he has to make the buy, and then eBay says it's okay to share information, an address, a phone number, that type of thing. Because before that, before the sale, eBay is very adamant about not wanting you to provide that information to a potential buyer, because you could, in effect, take that sale off of eBay. And that's where eBay's concern comes from. Afterwards, they don't have a problem with it. And the first weird thing, of course, is that the sale comes up under orders to ship, even though the buyer has selected local pickup. But when you go into that order, it says arrange pickup and message the buyer. When you do that, these additional notes pop up. And of course, I sent him the information to arrange the pickup in the morning, but a couple of notes pop up here. It says, remember to scan the pickup code to confirm the pickup and get paid. Well, theoretically, he's already paid, so that's kind of an odd note. And now it says I can share the contact information, because once you've got the buy, it's okay to share with your buyers. So I sent him the information. Actually, I sent him Rose's phone number because that's what we use normally. She has her volume up. I tend to let my phone sit around until I need it as a camera. But the gentleman, the person, is due over tomorrow. Now this brings up the next Facebook connection here. Will they be on time? Will they actually let us know when they're coming? Will they show up an hour late, an hour early in the driveway? Will we get a series of texts saying, I can't find you? That often happens in this area for Facebook pickups. Then there's the whole question of the item. In this case, they're sealed boxes, so I don't really have a problem. This is what the seller and the buyer really need to keep in mind. By the time he gets here, this sale has happened, just like any other sale on eBay. So if they show up and they go, well, that's not what I want, they have to go through the return process on eBay. You just can't do it simply on your phone immediately right there. You also can't give them a refund immediately until eBay has properly processed that return. Personally, because they've already made the buy, I don't have a problem with them opening the item right there and checking out the contents. But remember, that is a sold item. That is their item. If they open it and have an objection to it, again, the return process has to play out. Now, you don't have to send them away with the items and then make them drive back. They can open it up and say, I'm going to request a refund, and then leave you with the items. But I've never actually had one of those, though I have had some very strange pickups in the old days. eBay, to their credit, has made this process a little bit better. The buyer's last message to me said he'd received the code, because now that's what you do. You, the seller, and the buyer show up, and there's a process of PIN numbers or QR codes. Basically, some phones scan each other, and that tells eBay the sale has been completed, the buyer has the product. It wasn't always that way. I remember we used to often set up the meet at our storage facility, off-site, away from our house, gated control. We were right there near the front gate, so we could see the person arrive. They could send us a text or make a call and tell us they were there, and then we could either bring the item out to them or bring them into the storage unit to see the item. And this one I have in mind was a big piece of framed art. And what would happen in those days, it might be 2 weeks, 4 weeks. This one I think went on for 6 weeks, that the gentleman is like, yeah, I'm gonna try to do the pickup in conjunction with a trip. So will you be there at this place and time? And this was not our house, so we were having to drive to this storage unit. And normally I had work that kept me occupied there anyway while I waited. But if they didn't show, you would made the drive for nothing. Well, again, in those days before the whole QR linked phone thing, because not everybody had a phone then. Well, not everybody has a phone now, but there is an alternate way these days. So back then, though, you either had the person hold the item and you took their photo, or you took a photo of their driver's license, or you had them sign the bottom of a paper printout, usually the listing front page, and they signed for receipt, or you took a photo discreetly of their car license plate. You had to have some information collected during the handoff that proved to anyone who was concerned that the handoff happened. You did the transfer from seller to buyer. All right. Well, in this case, we were only waiting on this guy to get his big piece of art. So as soon as he was done and we handed it over to him, Rose and I began the process of locking up and leaving the storage facility. And when we stepped out and we looked over there, here's this guy, little tiny 2-seater sports car, hardtop, not a convertible. And he's got this big piece of framed art, and he's trying to figure out how to get it in the car. So after 6 weeks, he drives over a vehicle that may or may not actually physically be able to take this piece of art. And as we left, we simply waved because it was not really our problem. We certainly didn't want to put it back in the storage unit and schedule a return trip with a bigger vehicle. So we drove off, we never heard anything more about it. But what he actually did to get that thing in the car, I have no idea. It became his issue. That's the way local pickups, whether they're Facebook or eBay, can play out. There's a more human element involved, right? You actually meet your buyer. If he has any concerns, you hear them in person. And you also get some people sometimes who are like, well, I see in your store you've got this other item listed. Can I see that while I'm here? And that's the whole preview thing. And it's one of the reasons we, anyway, like to sell on eBay, because we don't have to open the store and show items ahead of time. We just don't. We rely on our listings themselves. Have you had any of these strange occurrences, either with the old system of transferring the product to the buyer or the new system with the QR? One of Rose's comments this morning was, I wonder, because it's been several months since we had one, if the system has changed. Right? Are we going to have a problem linking this QR to prove that we transferred the item? I don't know. It'll be interesting. When we finish it tomorrow, I'll add it to this video. But this is the item the buyer's coming for. 3 of these. Now, hopefully, the seals mean they really are intact. These came from an auction. So I suppose someone could have opened them, removed something, put the seals back on, and sent them to auction. We'll see. Maybe I'll suggest he open them right there in my presence so that I can see what's in them, so that we don't have a situation where he drives off and then says, oh, the remotes aren't in there, or oh, these receiver modules, they're not in there, or these units don't work. So maybe I'll suggest that, because when you sell on eBay in person or as a listing, it's all about a certain amount of protection to feel secure in the transaction. And some people, if you're unsure at all, don't let people come to your house. Meet them somewhere neutral. That, of course, adds time, which is why we put that fee in there in the first place. We're going to see how this all plays out. This is Brian, Cabin Fever, down at the packing bench. If you've had any of these weird issues that I've mentioned, let me know. I always like comments. Now, the buyer said he got a QR code and a 6-digit number on his phone. And we open Rose's phone, we see the instructions and it says scan pickup code. So it doesn't look like this has changed much since the last time, and we'll give this a try tomorrow. I see nothing on my laptop, but I guess this whole thing is a phone app. Now the packing bench is covered in auction lots, which you see here, and books from my free book source. But I'm actually down here today to pull a local pickup item. Now here are the 3 fan remote control units. They're from Hunter. Basically they've got the remote, and then if you look at the back, they've got some internal link that goes up inside the fan. But these are all sealed units. If I were to roll these right here, you'd see the round box seal on each of them. So I have these up as a multi-quantity discount for purchasing more than one. Gentleman or person, I don't know yet whether the buyer is a gentleman or not, but the buyer contacted me and through a series of questions began making an approach for a local pickup, and they're due in tomorrow. So I've pulled these items, but I want to talk a little bit about local pickups. They're here. Our buyer's here. Been moving that plant for a long time then.
Yep.
That's an ilium?
That's an ilium. It was the first year it flowered because it comes up with these big leaves. And then it flowered like with a half shell with a pistil that was orange. And then that all dies back, and then those shoots come up and they seed.
So it finally flowered after years.
It has.
So you were down here to actually show me an ilium, though. It is a cool plant. So how did the pickup go?
It went perfect.
Yeah, the link worked on the phone. Yep. She had a QR on hers. You pointed your phone at it. It said pickup confirmed.
Confirmed.
Right.
Done.
Done deal.
Yep.
I wish everything went as well. Because I was
in our future, everything's smooth.
Everything is smooth sailing from here on out. But I was comparing this portion of an eBay to Facebook. Yeah. Because once it's a local pickup, it has all the problems that Facebook does. I'll be there at 10, but they don't actually show up. Or you get a phone call that says, I can't follow your directions, or I'm in the wrong town, because there is a street with this name in a town 2 towns over.
Yes, it is.
Yes, there is. So we've had that before.
Is that zip code?
Yeah, if they don't put in the zip, they get the other road. But yeah, it's the whole thing about once you go from mailing it through an eBay sale to a local pickup, you feel like you've moved into the world of Facebook. Everything can go wrong. Or they get here and go, oh, it's not what I want. Or, have you tested it? It's like, no, I haven't tested it. They're sealed boxes. And then they're like, oh, well, let's open it up and test it. And then luckily we've never had a problem with one once the person's actually showed.
Yep.
Okay, let's go get some more coffee.
Yes.
Nice plants.
Thank you.
You can't even get back to the coffee without stopping to check out your plants. What's that one?
That's a Thai basil.
Thai basil, and you just rubbed it between your thumbs and stuck it under my nose. Sniff my fingers. Yeah, it actually smells like basil, which is probably good since it's basil. And your new hostas, and there's your what, blue mouse ear?
Mouse, yeah, no, not blue, just mouse ear hosta.
Mouse ear hosta.
The blue midnight hosta didn't come up yet, so I'm hoping.
Some more hostos over there.
Over here, I've got hosta that I dug up from over there, but the hailstorm we had at the beginning of season.
Yeah, it punched some holes in it, huh?
But look, I have slugs in my beer.
Oh, I know, you're putting out beer for slugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got a whole crew of them in
Beer
there.
bait. There she is, just raiding that bird feeder. Do they eat the suet cakes too, Rose?
No, not usually.
Just go for the seed.
Yep.
And she spreads enough that the birds can pick it up off the ground. But yeah, she's a happy camper to find a whole buffet laid out for her.
Yeah, because she ate it all and I filled it yesterday.